Welcome back, everyone. I am Psycho Emerald. Today I'm back with another Star Wars The Black Series 6-inch action figure unboxing and review. Today I have Bo-Katan Kryze and Koska Reeves from The Mandalorian. So this is going to kind of be a combo review. So I've got both of these figures. Decided since, they work together in the show, they would go really good in a combo review. And these figures are very similar. They use a lot of the same parts between the two figures. So I figured it'd be good to just get these both done in the same review instead of doing two reviews of what is essentially the same figure. So yeah. So before we get these open, let's check out the boxes. Okay, so on the box, first we have the cool artwork on the side. So we have Koska Reeves right here and Bo-Katan. They don't go together because Bo-Katan did come out first. So there is a number 11 between them. So they don't actually go together on the mural, unfortunately. But both of these artworks are very cool. On the back, we have that same artwork there. We got that cool Mandalorian orange color. It's kind of the brownish orange there. And then we've got Star Wars The Black Series on both. And then we have Bo-Katan Kryze. And it says, a gifted warrior, Bo-Katan Kryze is a legendary Mandalorian. She refused to align with the Empire's occupation of Mandalore. And Koska Reeves says, a master of hand-to-hand combat, Koska Reeves is loyal to Bo-Katan and is a member of a band of Clan Kryze Mandalorians striking back at the Imperial Remnant. So, yeah, then we got down here, number 10. Number 12 in Star Wars The Mandalorian. Disney and Hasbro logos down there, if you can see that. Of course, we got the front. You can see them in the windows, which is very nice. The side, we just got the Black Series logo, as well as that banner kind of carrying across. So yeah, very cool. On the bottom, just a bunch of legal stuff. Yeah, so I'm going to get the trusty unboxing knife, and we'll break Bo and Koska out of the package. Alright, so here's the trusty unboxing knife. Let's start with Koska Reeves. Here, I'll move Bo-Katan over there. Alright, there you go. Should pop this open, bend that back, then slide this out. So we got that window that lifts up off the figure. We can get the little jetpack here. We got the two pistols, which do have tape over them. Alright, there's the first pistol. And there's the second pistol. Now let's get Koska herself out. Alright, so there she is. Looking really, really cool. So we'll set her to the side. And we will move her packaging out of the way, and then we will open up Bo-Katan. Okay, so to open up Bo-Katan, do the exact same thing. Alright, yeah, sorry, I haven't had much to say during the unboxing parts of it, but we will, once again, slide the plastic tray out here, lift the window off, legal stuff will fall down to the floor, and the pistols, which are pretty much exactly the same as Koska's pistols, just pop those out like that, and Bo's helmet, looks really cool so far, and then the figure. Yep, also looking very, very good. So yeah, we'll get all the excess packaging out of the way, and we will take a look at the figures. Okay, so here we have Bo-Katan and Koska Reeves out of the package. So let's start off by checking out Koska Reeves, which I love the way this figure looks. I love the blue color. Blue is one of my favorite colors, so naturally when there's a cool shade of blue on a figure or a character, it just draws me to it. Visually, we can check out the head sculpt here, which definitely has a great likeness to the actress. I think it definitely looks good. I think the hair is really well sculpted as well. And yeah, the likeness looks really good, as you can see. And I really love all the weathering done on the armor. And like I said, I love the application of this kind of matte blue color. It just looks really nice. The rangefinder on the helmet also can move, and the helmet just looks great. I'm probably going to end up displaying her with the helmet on, but I did want to show off how good this head sculpt looks, but I like to change around my figures' poses all the time, so I probably will kind of have the helmet on and off depending on my mood on any given time. So yeah, pop the helmet back on because that's how she came in the box, and then yeah, we can check out kind of some of the specific details. Already pointed out the weathering and the color of the armor, which look really good, but the brown undersuit looks really good too. Well sculpted, got little details in there just to make it look realistic. Looks like real leather material. Got the back of the boots there, really good, and then this kind of reddish color for the belt with some silver done on there. Looks really good as well. Got the insignia over here on the shoulder pad. The rangefinder is painted I kind of like how the hair kind of pokes out the back of the helmet there. I think that looks kind of cool. Yeah, I'm liking this figure a lot. So let's check out Bo-Katan. Alright, so here's Bo-Katan, and the main thing I noticed initially was this arm doesn't want to go down. This one lays flat by her side perfectly, but this one just will not stay down. So I don't know what's up with that. I'm sure that's not a problem on all of the copies of the figure, but yeah, that's just one little thing I noticed. But since we're on the topic of the arm, you can see how well painted the little wrist gauntlet is there. Very cool. And I do like the blue on here. It's just not as striking as on the Koska Reeves figure. The backpack looks really good. Got kind of some silvers and blues on there. Looks very realistic, very cool. I like metallic stuff, so I like the way that jetpack looks there. And then we got the likeness, which I believe the actress who played her in The Mandalorian was also the actress who voiced her for the Clone Wars, which is a fun fact that I didn't know until recently. But correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if that's actually true, but I did hear that somewhere, so I'm pretty sure it's true. But the likeness is pretty good. I wasn't a huge fan of it when I saw the photos of it, but I think it looks a lot better actually in hand. It definitely has a really good likeness. I really love the photoreal application. I don't really know exactly what photoreal does. I just know it makes things look a lot more realistic, especially faces. So I think it looks really good. The hair, I would have liked maybe like a wash on it like we see on the Marvel Legends Scarlet Witch, which I just think that figure's hair just looks so good. But this one just kind of looks a little flat, and that's the only problem I'm having with it so far is, yeah, the hair doesn't look super realistic. It looks a little bit flat, but that's the only thing. Then we've got the boots down here, which, like I said, this is pretty much all the same sculpt as that figure. It might have some slight differences in sculpt, but it is mostly just difference in paint. And the belt is actually a different piece because over here, she only has one holster for some reason. I guess that's probably accurate to the show, but she does have two pistols, so I don't know why she only comes with one holster. But we do have two holsters for Bo-Katan, which is cool. And once again, we got the insignia there, and yeah, her armor and her blue armor pieces are definitely a lot more weathered. You can kind of tell she's a lot more of a veteran than Koska Reeves is. Her armor probably started out looking just like Koska Reeves, but it's changed a lot, so yeah. And yeah, once again, we got the sculpt of the pants and the color of the pants looking very different from the armor, but it makes the armor stand out more since it is kind of this, it's kind of a greenish, grayish, brownish color. Looks like actual material though, like I said, looks like leather or something like that. Looks realistic. I like all the little sculpt details done on it. Once again, pretty much exactly the same as what we just saw in Koska. But yeah, really good. I really like the Bo-Katan. I think I prefer the Koska. Obviously, she's not as significant of a character as Bo-Katan. She's more of just kind of a cool side character, but I do just love the way the blue looks on that figure. So as a figure, I prefer that. As a character, I prefer Bo-Katan, obviously, but Koska Reeves, the figure, is really cool. I love the way the bright blue looks. So yeah, let's check out the accessories for Koska Reeves. Okay, so for the accessories for Koska Reeves, we do have both of these pistols, which are exactly the same as the ones we will see for Bo-Katan as well, so I will probably skip going over these pistols for Bo-Katan, but yeah, the pistols for both the figures will look like this. They're kind of just cast in silver plastic with some brown paint on the handle. I think it looks pretty good. I kind of wish it was, you know, bright silver paint kind of put on there. Would look a lot cooler. But I do think these definitely will get the job done. Definitely will look cool. So, yeah. Now let's check out the jetpack for Koska Reeves. Okay, so here's Koska Reeves' jetpack. It's pretty much the same as Bo-Katan's. It just doesn't have that kind of metallic paint to it. There is less blue. Like where you see the blue is on here. There isn't any blue here or on the rocket up here. And unfortunately, it doesn't have that cool metallic silver paint to make it look more realistic, but I still think it looks good. It's the same sculpt as Bo-Katan's jetpack, and yeah, we can see how it pegs onto the figure. It pegs on pretty nicely. There you go. Yep, so it'll be the same with Bo-Katan, but she came in the box with the jetpack already on, but it is easily removable and reattachable just like that. So yeah, let's check out Bo-Katan's helmet. Alright, so here's Bo-Katan's helmet. Looks really cool. You can tell it's been through very many years of battle since we have seen Bo-Katan in the Clone Wars to where we now see her in the Mandalorian. Very cool. I like all the dings and dents and scratches and weathering done on the paint on the front here. And yeah, she came with this not on already in the box, but we can see how it will fit onto her head. It's a little bit tighter of a fit than Koska Reeves' helmet was, but I think that looks really good. I really love the way that looks. So yeah, once again, I'm torn on whether to display her initially with the head sculpt showing or with the helmet on. But yeah, I guess I can decide that when I put them on the shelf. But I think I want to have both of them with the helmet off or with the helmet on. But yeah, I'll have to decide that later. So yeah, let's check out the articulation. So for the articulation, it's going to be pretty much the same on both figures. Pretty generic stuff, you know, the usual, you know, you got the single hinged elbow that swivels, same with the knees. It all functions really nicely. They definitely engineered it really well to where you'll get plenty of great dynamic poses out of it, if that's what you're looking for. But the main standout for me is how well the head can move. Like, just look how much tilt you get out of that. That's just really cool. You don't see that on a lot of figures, you know, even with the helmet off, of course. You can get all sorts of emotive tilting going on with the head. I'm sure you can do it with Bo-Katan over here as well. Not as much so, unfortunately, but really, yeah, the articulation functions really well. Because these are modern figures and they put a lot of time into making sure that they will be able to get a lot of dynamic poses, because we see these characters in action quite a lot in the show, so it's definitely going to be good to be able to get into some really cool dynamic poses. So let me see if I can get her into a cool pose and we'll take a closer look at Koska Reeves. Now let me give you guys a closer look at Bo-Katan. Alright, so for some quick size comparisons before I give my finishing thoughts on these figures, I have just one figure I'd like to compare with them because we do see them fighting these guys plenty of times throughout the series, so I have the Imperial Stormtrooper from the Mandalorian. Alright, so there he is. He's a bit bigger than them. He's a bit taller, but that's okay. I don't think they were very tall. Like, if we look at some photos of, like, her talking to Din in the show, Bo-Katan, at least, is definitely a bit on the shorter side, so being a little bit smaller than the Stormtrooper is fine. He's also out in front of them a little bit, so if you put him like that, you could see he's just a bit bigger, he's a bit taller, and that's okay. So I think that definitely works, because I think he seems like he's a little bit out of scale, a little bit large, but it's okay for me. So yeah, this guy's also one of my favorite figures of all time, but this Koska Reeves is really cool. I really like it. It might be one of my new favorites. So yeah, I'll get the Stormtrooper out of the way, and I'll give you guys my finishing thoughts on Bo-Katan and Koska Reeves. Alright, so for my finishing thoughts on these two figures, these are both great figures. I think the sculpt on them is really great. I love the paint. My favorite out of the two would go to Koska Reeves just because I love the way that blue color looks. I just think it looks super cool, and I think the head sculpt likeness is a little bit stronger on that one, but that's just my opinion. They both have great sculpts, lots of good paint details on them, and they're super fun to pose. They're both very poseable, very well articulated, and they come with some cool accessories as well. So if you pass on these figures, I definitely recommend going and picking them up because they are readily available to get on like Amazon and Dorkside Toys. I definitely recommend going and trying to pick these up because they're great figures that I don't think you should miss out on if you're a fan of The Mandalorian like I am. So yeah, that's going to just about do it for this review. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. I would really appreciate that. If you like Star Wars The Black Series unboxings and reviews, I do that a lot on my channel. That's mainly what my channel is about. My channel is mainly focused on Star Wars The Black Series and Marvel Legends figure reviews, so if that's something that you're interested in, please consider subscribing in order to join the Knights of Mischief. As always, I hope you guys found this review helpful. Hope you found it enjoyable, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.